Thanks, buddy. Still want to see The Martian, though, big time. Another movie that we've been dying to see, Sicario.
Wait. Get out of the car.
We did see it. What did you think, my friend?
We've been seeing a lot of drug cartel
Well,
happening,
currently, yes.
especially with the show Narcos. Colombian drug cartel. Now we're in Juarez, in Sicario, and we're not just there. We're also in the States as well. But this movie was really interesting because it doesn't really show us a lot of action. It mostly shows us the things that happen before the action and after the action, which is really interesting. And I think it plays really well with the story and the emotion of the story.
What I think is so amazing about this movie is that it's framed like a horror movie in a way, you know? I mean, there's a real sense of impending dread and doom, and the soundtrack cut against Denis Villeneuve's imagery is absolutely chilling. You're constantly on the edge of your seat when you're watching this thing.
It's true, yeah. The soundtrack is fantastic. The acting, of course, is so on point. These are A-grade actors that we're seeing here.
Do we get an opportunity of the men responsible for today?
The men who are really responsible for today.
It's just so funny because every time I see Josh Brolin now, when I see him chewing gum, I'm like, Josh, like, just spit it out, man. Spit out the gum.
But
we get it.
It's his character, though.
Yeah,
he plays a consultant to the feds, basically. He doesn't really reveal who he is. There are a lot of complicated little twists and turns throughout this. You don't know who to trust.
No, we don't know if he's CIA or DA or FBI. Like, you don't really ever know.
You saw things you shouldn't have seen.
The thing that I really like is from the perspective of Emily Blunt's character, who we now are starting to see as this really confident heroine on screen. She was amazing in Edge of Tomorrow, but now she is playing somebody with a lot of skills and a lot of respect within her agency, but she's like this timid neophyte when she enters the grotesqueries of what's really happening on the streets of Juarez.
Get your service weapon out.
It's true, because she's being thrown into a situation that she's unsure of. She doesn't really know what's happening. Nobody's giving her any information at all. And so we, as the audience members, are really along for the ride with her because we're introduced to her character right at the top. So you feel like you need to attach yourself to her. So you feel her frustration. You feel her angst towards these people that she's having to work with, like Josh Brolin and Benicio del Toro.
Yeah, and she's just so angry and so confused, and it's confusing, I think, for the audience as well, because we want to see some good people.
No. Compas. Suelte la pistola.
I think we have to give a special nod and a shout out to Benicio del Toro, who is at the peak of his game in this movie.
Fantastic.
He's riveting, but everybody is. You're gonna be really entertained by every performance in this thing, and the sure-handedness of the filmmaking.
I was thoroughly entertained for this movie. It was hard to watch in some moments, especially in the beginning. There's some really grotesque scenes. Incredibly well done.
Well, it's like a Silence of the Lambs in a little way. You know, that's one of the movies that I was constantly referencing and thinking about.
Welcome to Juarez.
You never really hold on to any individual character. Like, you can never really attach yourself to each one. That was really interesting for me because we usually have some kind of heroine or hero that we hold on to, and we didn't really have that here. We couldn't really with this one, which is really interesting. I really appreciate the work here.
Yeah, it's an amazing movie. You definitely have to see it, but be prepared to be grossed out a little bit. What are you going to give Sicario?
It gets an 8.5.
It gets a 9 from me. EP's movie coverage is brought to you by Nintendo, makers of Splatoon for the Wii U.